Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watch One, and thanks for logging on. Today, we're looking at one of a series of outstanding tributes by Hublot to the late great Formula One champion Ayrton Senna. This is the Hublot Big Bang Ayrton Senna Rattrapante Limited Edition, 44.5 millimeters in black ceramic. This watch pays tribute to the memory of a man who took 3 Formula One titles in his career, 41 wins, stood on the podium 80 times, and set a then record 65 poles. Now, sales of these watches have benefited the Instituto Ayrton Senna, run by the Senna family to this day, and thus there has been a progression of outstanding Hublot complications, all Senna branded and Senna themed, with some motorsports cues to benefit the Institute, of which this watch was one of the debut editions. Now you can see the watch in full black ceramic with black ceramic bezel on my wrist, 6 1/3 inches, 16 centimeters in circumference. It wears quite comfortably. You can see the little Brazilian flag, Senna's nationality, peeking out from under the composite case construction at 9 o'clock. You can also see the signature of the man himself on the dial. Now, the aesthetic of the watch is big, black, and contemporary. If you like the murdered out watch look, you're really going to like the Big Bang Ayrton Senna Rattrapante, because it has that effect, it has that impression. It's got the stealth look with subdued Hublot branding on the dial. This is really all about Senna. You can see not only does his signature stand out, but the signature complication of the watch, which I'm going to highlight right here, the split-second chronograph, even features a Brazilian flag Rattrapante seconds hand. Now, you can activate the Rattrapante flyback feature right here, but that just goes to show that the motorsports association of this watch is just as strong as the Senna links. The chronograph has often been considered one of the classical motorsports complications. Everything from the Hoyer Carreras and Octavias to the motorsports-centric Rolex Daytona series. Chronographs and trackside excitement go together, but the split second is really perfect for motorsports because of its ability to time 2 separate but simultaneous events. For instance, 2 cars racing around a track. So you can time that first event with the chronograph while the overall time continues to run. You get your split when that second car passes the finish line, and boom, you reset the Rattrapante and it continues. It also works as a conventional chronograph, wherein you can stop the continuous seconds and reset the entire mechanism. So you've got that versatility, and somewhat lost in the dial because of its relatively unobtrusive inclusion is the power reserve of 42 hours right at about 6:30. A useful feature for a watch with a 42-hour power reserve. It is an automatic winder, but it makes sure that you're topped off, so to speak, and you've got a full tank before you start timing your race. Now I'm just going to get back to ergonomics for now, because I want to talk about how the Hublot Big Bang fits on the wrist. It is a big, big watch. Bigger than the 44mm Audemars Piguet Royal Oak Offshore. The Big Bang really announced the arrival of the oversized watch as a fixture in the luxury watch market. But Hublot's genius was to make that watch wearable. Whereas previous monstrosities over 44mm had pushed the limits of human anatomy, Hublot does kind of the smart thing, and they pare back the lugs so that the watch really doesn't wear much larger than its nominal diameter. There are some 44, 45mm watches that actually wear as though they were far over 50 or even 60mm. You don't get that sense here, and on my wrist, which is really quite small, 6 1/3 inches, 16 centimeters in circumference, I could wear this watch if my wrist were under 6 inches in circumference. It's very comfortable, and it spreads its mass nicely. Also, one of the Hublot signatures is the natural rubber vulcanized strap, here with a clever F1 inspired tire tread pattern. Now, I know they use slicks in F1, but humor me here. Let's say it's a rain day and they're using treaded tires. So you have that motorsports themed tire tread pattern, and it's subtle. Like all the cues on the watch, it's subtle. But the strap itself, when you turn it over, gives up its game. With Ayrton Senna co-branding, you can also see how smooth it is, and that souplesse is part of the watch's ergonomic appeal. Just how soft and smooth it is on the skin. Hublot was the first watch company to pair a high-end watch with a rubber strap, and that tradition continues on most of their models, including the Big Bang limited edition Ayrton Senna. Now, the watch is one of only 500 produced, so it is a limited edition, and these are highly sought by fans of Senna, by fans of Formula One and motorsports in general, as well as collectors of Hublot who regard this reference, which in addition to looking the business is nearly scratch-proof thanks to ceramic, but they consider this one of the best renditions of the limited edition Big Bang, and I really can't emphasize that as good as this watch looks, if you're not familiar with ceramic, if you've had a PVD watch in the past, and you're worried about scratching the black bezel or scratching the black case, fear not. Ceramic is effectively as hard as the sapphire crystal, so unless you're in the business of chipping and scratching and shattering sapphire crystals, you can pretty much rest assured that this watch will retain its good looks into the future. Having been produced as a limited run in 2007, this example looks outstanding, virtually new to this day, and that's just emblematic of the durability of ceramic in practice. Again, as a luxury watch on the wrist, you really have nothing to fear. And you can see that classic Big Bang machine-like layered construction with the ceramic bezel on top, moving down to the composite bezel gasket, the top layer of the case in polished ceramic, with that composite insert in between, another ceramic layer on the case bottom, as well as a ceramic case back. You can see it's held in by polished screws framing the Instituto Ayrton Senna logo at center, and then inside you have the Hublot caliber HB44 RT Rattrapante, which is one of the most horologically interesting Hublot calibers, inasmuch as a lot of Hublot calibers are essentially unmodified, outsourced movements, especially in the first generation Big Bang. Those watches really traded on their image, their attitude, their persona, and their wrist presence. But with the Rattrapante, with the combination of the split-second chronograph and the power reserve, as well as unique decoration with alternating polished, perlage, and brushed sections, this is one of the more interesting movements, and of course, it features Hublot's signature tungsten winding rotor with PVD deposited skeletonized rotor center. Very appealing, also very practical. This is a watch that really can suit just about any need you have. With 10 ATM water resistance, this one's water resistant down to 100 meters or 330 feet. If you're looking for a sports watch for summer and F1 season is in full swing, you've got to check out this Hublot Big Bang Ayrton Senna Rattrapante limited edition. It's one of only 500 made. These are hard to come by, but even standing on its own merits, Ayrton Senna links notwithstanding, this is a fantastic, good-looking, comfortable, horologically fascinating, complicated chronograph, and being big, bold, beautiful, and outgoing with superb water resistance and scratch resistance, it's exactly the kind of active lifestyle companion for summer 2015 for the discerning collector of outstanding sports watches. Check out this Hublot Big Bang Ayrton Senna Rattrapante limited edition on our website, Watch You Want.